Welcome to Girl Sessions Podcast.
We want Girl Sessions to be a safe space where they come and kick back, relax, or get some advice. I'm your host, Raya, and joining me as always,
Coco. All right, y'all. So first, we're going to start with the deep questions that she brought. And we're going to get started. Let me see.
It's 3 different categories, so.
Oh, which one you want to start with?
Intimacy.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
If you could change one aspect of your life, what would it be?
And we can both answer the question, but you can go first. What aspect would you change? If you would change anything?
I honestly, and this is not like a cop-out question, but I really do feel like content. So that's what I gotta think, really, honestly. I guess I would want to be in a different place, like when it comes to like finances and stuff like that. Not like a career. Like I have a long path to go with my career.
You do.
And I'm not like against it or anything. Like I'm willing to do the journey, but I wish I was kind of there already. Yeah. Part of me does, even though I'm fully okay with my choices. So that would be my answer.
Okay, I'm gonna double back on that answer when we get into our topics.
Okay.
My question is, how do you express yourself when you're angry? I really didn't want to get this card. Like, this is the card that I told you that I seen. So, I don't know.
I feel like you always get the ones you don't want to get.
Like, expressing myself is, like, a thing on its own. But, like, when I'm angry, that's another thing. Like, I don't know.
Do you express yourself when you're angry, though?
Sometimes. Not all the time.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I gotta know how to not express it. Because who wants to express anger? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm thinking.
Because I know a lot of people, I feel like when they're angry, they don't express themselves. Like, all their actions is, they're doing everything but expressing
It's like,
themselves.
should you express yourself when you're angry?
I guess
because
it
is an expression. So, like, you're not supposed to hold them in. But I don't know. Do you think people should?
I feel like when I'm angry, I know I got to step away. I got to remove myself because I feel like I'll do things on mine. But, yeah, it is an expression. It is an expression, though, for sure. Okay, so what are your biggest insecurities?
Oh. Dang, they trying to get deep. Like, that's a deep question. Like, if you was on a date, like, just with your boyfriend, and, like, he's like, what's your deepest insecurities? Like, what would you say? Not like what would you say, but, like, how would you feel about the question?
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of a crazy question on your first date, but I feel like that's getting straight to it. Like, that's starting with vulnerability right out the gate, you know?
Yeah.
You told the wrong one, though, you could be in a bad situation. But,
like, bad situation, like what?
I can see them, like, on the first date, if you tell them your biggest insecurities, they could play on that, or they could, like, make it a joke. Like, you never know who you know, it's your first time meeting them.
Ooh, what kind of person? Ooh, what kind of person is that? Is that, like, just, like, a horrible person, though?
I feel like some people naturally, like, you tell them stuff, and then they'll be like, I don't know, like, they'll make a joke not even thinking about that. And then, like, it hurts your feeling type stuff.
Okay. I get what you mean.
There are some people who really do have bad intentions and will, like, bring it up on purpose. But, yeah you're right. But I feel like for the longest time, like, I feel like I always wanted to have a nice butt. And I feel like I had to go in the gym, and I had to earn mine. I had to build it up. So it wasn't, like, an insecurity no more once I went to the gym. The glute workouts would kill you, though, I'll tell you that much. You got to have protein, everything. But, yeah.
They said if you don't like something, fix it.
And do. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not finna get a BBL. I don't got enough money for that. But, yeah.
Okay. I got to answer this question. Just the way that I can be really content alone. I feel like that's kind of insecurity because I'm like, I should be around people. I should be mingling and, you know, doing this, doing that. But I'm like, I'm okay with being by myself. But at the same time, it's like, dang, I kind of want to mingle. But it's like, I'm okay if I don't, you know?
Period.
Yeah.
Okay, look at your answer being like, with the mind over here, like, my butt. Really like, think, what?
Like, you know what? No, it's not even that because, I mean, we all have insecurities. Probably, you know, some that's like, I don't know. Only some people know, or not everybody know.
Because not all insecurities are physical too. I mean, I feel like there's mental
I think
insecurities
the mental one, yeah.
Yeah, because the first thing I think of really insecurities be physical. I don't know why that's the first place my brain goes.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I feel that.
Like an insecurity could be like not wanting to be alone. I don't know, all kinds of stuff. But yeah,
Okay.
that's what we have for our deep questions.
Well, there's one more.
Oh,
you want to read it?
I thought we were done. My bad. Go ahead.
We don't have to. Okay, but it says, "What would you say if you could send a message to your past, present, and future self?" Ooh.
You gotta have a message for each one?
Yeah.
Okay.
My past. Ooh, a message. I was just saying. Like, just do it. What comes to mind, don't hesitate. Trust your gut. Present, same thing, but just make decisions for you. Future, girl, they jealous.
I don't know. I feel like it's such a hard question though. Like past, I feel like I would say
like future, like you your best self. You know.
I don't know. I feel like I would tell my past self, like you gonna get where you're meant to go. Like it's gonna happen. Trust in the process. Have more fun. You know, don't take everything so seriously.
Right.
Everything you're going through is going to pass too, because I feel like when you're younger you don't think about you just feel everything in the current moment. You don't even understand that time changes. Everything changes over time.
It's not going to be the same.
Exactly. So I feel like it'd be that for past. Present, I'm telling myself keep going. Yeah, I feel like I just tell myself keep going. Like you're figuring it out. You're down the right path. And then future self, you better got it.
Okay.
You better be there. Okay. Because we didn't do all this for nothing. So yeah, that's what I would say.
I like that. That was real transparent.
I like that question too.
All of the questions were real deep. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm like, you don't just think about these questions. And if you do, it's like you really got to think about it. Today, it's really like, we wanted to just bring up transparency because we wanted to start telling stories and like just being more in tune with what we share with y'all. And I don't know.
Because everything that you like go through, I feel like it has context too. You know, like every story, everything that we share, we've like can understand each other on. I feel like it comes with a little story. So yeah.
How do you feel about like the human experience and just having connections with people? Like how important is that with you? Like having your connections, like family connections, friends connections, like stranger connections. Like how do you feel? Like how important is that to you?
I think it's really important. I feel like we're not here to like not have connections. Like he wouldn't have put all of us here, these close cities and stuff for us not to talk. I feel like we don't talk enough as it is. Like going out and about, we are scared to communicate and talk to one another when it's not supposed to be like that. But yeah, like I feel like family's everything to me. I'm working on having like stronger relationships in terms of platonic or close friends. But yeah, they're everything. What about you?
They're everything to me too. I feel like they can be difficult sometimes, but it's just all about learning. Like I feel like having connections is like you said, what we're here for. You know? Like, do you feel like some of your connections feed into your insecurity sometimes? Because if they're not like how you want them to be.
I can see how that would happen for sure. I feel like it used yeah, I think so. I feel like it definitely used to have a lot more weight on me.
Dang, why can't this relationship be like this with this person? You know?
And how do you get it there too? I feel like that's the hard part for me sometimes.
And like if it's not there, you got to question what was like why was it in my life? Yeah. Or like what specific reason was that lesson or whatever. So it can kind of feed into that. I feel like that's kind of a big thing I experienced for me. Like just getting to the connections thing and like talking more about it. Like just, not wanting to let go of a certain connection or just, I don't know. I kind of lost my train of thought.
I think it is hard, like walking away from connections too. Like, have you been that person to walk away, or
It's just that I just want to like speak more on it about like the emotions you have, or like the, you know, the feelings you have, because they can be strong, and it can lead into certain things. It can lead into good things, and it can lead into bad things. And the bad things are you're gonna feel some type of way about it, you know, because you have a connection.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to like ask you that, because I feel like that's a big thing for me. And like that I experience, like just connections being the main part, a center of my life, because like you said, it is important, and we were here to have connections. So yeah,
I feel like that's been my hurt for a long time, and I started like getting the attitude like, okay, I don't want this to be my thing. Like, I don't want that to be the thing that is my sore spot, you know. So I feel like, yeah, but it definitely can be, because we're not meant to be, you know, alone. We're not meant to have, you know, we're meant to have great connections. I feel like in life.
and I feel like that's what anything you're connected to, like not just relationships. Like I'm pretty sure you're connected to something outside of that you know you find love in, or you find comfort in, that you're connected to. Like what's that one thing that you are?
I feel like I have a connection with like music and being outdoors and like just like film art. Like, I'm an artsy person with paintbrushing and stuff, but like with video and photos, things like that. Like, I feel like that stuff speaks to me, and I feel like it's cool for me. So.
Do you like the background of stuff? Like if it was to be a movie, would you like be the background, like setting up all the lights and stuff? You would be that person. That's the film art. Yeah, I was thinking that when we was setting up. I was like, all these connections.
Yeah,
like,
it can be a lot. See, I don't know that I like the setting up portion of it as much as like being in front of the camera or being behind the camera.
You just like it all together. Okay.
Or like watching like behind the scenes, like how they got something like.
Oh, okay.
Because if you see certain movies, it looks like this whole thing, but the whole time it's just like
that's
a green screen.
Though I never like knew anybody that likes that or like
behind the scenes. Even like I just went to see Sinners, not to get on that, but the music, how they like put different things in it. It just, if you watch it, I'm not gonna give no spoilers, but it's just so creative, and I think stuff like that's cool. So,
okay, period. Yeah. I like that.
What about you? What are you connected to?
I feel like mine's not going to sound as interesting. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't know. Let me think. I feel like I'm interested or like connected to like philanthropy and like just trying to live a life that you set out. Like you believe in this, or you think this the same way as this. Like, you know, I feel like that. Like just bettering your life. Like eating healthy and the natural things that we should be doing. Like, I don't know. I just like all that. Like, just finding knowledge on the root of things. Like,
that's a solid one. That's solid.
That's what I feel like I'm connected to. But sometimes I feel like it kind of goes to waste because of, like, the world we live in today. Yeah. It's like it can't really apply to it as much because, like, and it's kind of hard because I'm like, you're around all this stuff that's like, no, I don't know. Like, most people don't get into. It's just what's happening today. So yeah,
it can be hard to have that mindset around like certain people if they don't get it, even, or just like I feel like everyone really doesn't get it nowadays. So
relationships, you have a relationship with your coworkers, you have a relationship with your family, you have a relationship with friends. Like it can be a lot.
I agree. And just like learning them, like the things you get from each friendship or each relationship, I feel like you can look at certain relationships and know exactly what the lesson was in that relationship. Or, you know, even if it's just like companionship or like feel like that's your soulmate, and a friend even, like she just gets it, you know? Like I feel like you can tell what some of those connections are for in your life and why they're there, you know?
I want to be transparent.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes I don't know what the lesson is, but I know it's a lesson. Or maybe I do know what the lesson is, but I'm like, okay, I learned my lesson. Is there another lesson? Like,
can I get something else?
Yeah, like, I have trouble with that. And I feel like that goes back to either A, letting it go, doing better with it, making it work, setting boundaries. Like, I feel like that all play a part in it. And I struggle with that.
I think sometimes you don't know what the lesson's going to be, because there's a few relationships that I've walked out of my life and I don't know, like, what did I get from that? Like, not that I'm like looking to get something, but what was the lesson? What was the thing for that? And I always like told myself that maybe it's like, maybe they got a lesson for me. Maybe they walked away with something. I'm not supposed to ever know what that was, because maybe it was me showing them something, or, you know, what if I come to figure it out later in life, you know? Do you feel like the lessons you don't know, maybe it was you giving the lesson instead of getting a lesson?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe I kind of have a victim mindset about certain things, and I'm like, why did you do this?
Mm-hmm. You can't.
Maybe I did something to you.
Yeah.
But I was gonna ask, like, I don't know, let me forget my thought when you be talking, because I'm trying to listen to what you be saying.
That happens to me too.
But it was a good question.
I was talking about getting the lesson, giving
the lesson,
not knowing until they walk out of your life. Me probably making the thought go far away. Me making it worse.
I don't know. I probably have to come back on it.
Okay.
But I wish I could remember it.
Do thoughts be coming back to you, or you feel like sometimes they don't be coming back?
Sometimes they don't. Okay, I think I remember. It was about, okay, what you were just saying about like lessons and stuff like that. Like, what's this lesson? What's this lesson? I see something on the internet, of course, and it was like about taking life too seriously. And they was just like how people could post them with a man this day, or they have a girlfriend this day, and then the next day, oh, they broke up, and they posted on Snapchat, and next somebody else, like, or they out at the club and they just out partying, or they just posting their life like it's nothing, like it's not so serious, like I just said, they posted somebody this day, somebody else this day. It depends on how you look at it, but it's like, okay, they broke up, so what next? Or, you know, do you get what I'm saying? I might have to show you the video, but it's just like about taking life too seriously, and like not everything is like to be taken so seriously. Like I think we're gonna talk about this on the hot takes, but posting somebody and covering their face, and it's like, if you're gonna post something, like, or if you're gonna do something, like, who cares, honestly? Who cares?
Do you think they like cover? Well, I guess a lot of them do cover up their like people's face for like embarrassment. Like they don't want to be embarrassed.
Do you take it like
future.
too serious?
Like, why can they hold it over you? You know, like say it doesn't work out. Like what is it? What do you care?
But at the same, yeah, exactly. At the same time, it's like, who cares what they think? Like, this is my life, you know, or this is their life. Like, it really depends on how you look at it. Because I'm like, they're like, oh, another dude this day, or another girl. It's just like, I gotta show you the video.
Because I guess there's multiple ways you can look at that. Like the person posting their life, they're not taking things seriously. They're just posting stuff, and they don't really care.
Yeah.
Like they post people's face because it doesn't. None of this is like.
That's just like, oh, let me take this picture. Let me crop this out or cover this up, or like, if you're gonna do something, do it. Like, who cares if you're gonna go out and do whatever you do? Should we care?
Because it's really a lot of the. If you think about it, to me, sometimes like you're never gonna see these people again. A lot of them are just numbers on the views. You're not really like, what does it matter? You know, it really doesn't.
Don't get me started on nothing matters.
Yeah.
It's just we really have deep connections towards things and people, and we get caught up in the loop, and we get caught up in our feelings and caught up in everything, and we just, you know, sometimes it's just like it's just a lot going on. I'm taking this too serious.
Sometimes you just gotta, when you stop taking things seriously every once in a while, I feel like it definitely feels good. Just be like, why am I overdoing it? Why am I working so hard? Like, let me just chill and just let me go with the wave. Let me just, you know.
And sometimes you really have to think like that, because it's like, it can be a lot. Can it not?
It can be. It is a lot.
Can life not be a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think about some of the lessons I have learned. I know we're talking about that.
What you over there thinking about?
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
I'm trying to think about some of the lessons I feel like I walked away from, or the things I've just learned just in general when it comes to like relationships. The ones I've been taught, you know. even some you don't really get closure on. Like, do you feel like some of the relationships that have ended in your life, you feel like you got closure, or you feel like it just kind of?
I feel like if you had to leave, or if I had to leave, there is never no closure because I still question why you had to leave a lot, or why did it have to end. Not that I'm holding on to anything, but like, what was the point? I'll be asking myself.
Have you learned to get closure for yourself? Or you feel like
what is closure? Not thinking about it anymore.
Well, see, that's the thing, because you can think you have closure, because that was me, and if it's still coming up, or sometimes you get triggered and it reminds you of that. Honestly, it doesn't mean what was my issue is I thought if I was triggered by a past situation that I still had feelings for this person, or I still like it made me feel like, why do you care? It made me kind of embarrassed that I had those feelings. But I've learned that it doesn't mean that you have feelings for them. It just means that maybe something triggered, it matched with your trauma that you've been through, or it's still why you are the way you are. Because you know what I'm saying?
It means we have a mental disorder, PTSD.
This is true. It don't mean we still love them.
We talked about it in school. PTSD is not only for people that was in the army or stuff like that. It's things that traumatize us and will always trigger us. PTSD.
Yeah. It's true. Trauma it looks all different shapes, sizes, colors, forms. It can be something you didn't even realize.
I sometimes give people a pass because I'm like, you got trauma, so do I.
Yeah.
But you just have to link up with the people that
they get it.
Yeah, get it. That y'all both understand each other.
Mm-hmm. See, when you with someone who just gets it, sometimes y'all be hyping each other to do wrong things. Because y'all both be on the side of it where y'all be like, yeah, that you got.
Because y'all just messing with each other too. But y'all like, yeah, do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing, though.
It is.
You don't want nobody around that's like negative. No, don't do that. Like, if I want to do it, hype me up.
I love a hype friend. Gonna support what you're doing.
Yes.
Also, maybe gonna tell you, hey, I don't think that's for you, but exactly. I'm still gonna be there.
We need everybody to keep it real. That's part of if I really mess with you keep it real.
It's hard to get to that point, though. I have realized with building my connections now. I think that's something I want to talk about. It's hard to deepen connections. It's not as easy as it seems.
That's why when I meet people, I'm not gonna change. Like I'm gonna come back, but like when I meet people and like I connect with them, it's like okay, because it's hard to deepen connections, and it's like sometimes you can if it just won't deepen because y'all not there. Like y'all can't go past the level y'all at because y'all just not messing with each other, and that's okay. That's when you gotta let go because that's when it just I don't know. But I feel like keeping it real is like the deepest it can get,
But you can't do that often. Do you think you can do it from the start? Okay.
I think like you can't do it often. You can't do it to everybody. Well, I don't know. That's kind of that depends, I guess.
I feel like from the jump, I should be able to keep it real with you, and in hopes that you would respect that and be like, hey, I need somebody like that. But
do you think you want to live with everybody though? Like you can be that type of person to keep it real, but like, are you like that with everybody?
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not. With certain people, I am. And then others, I'm not going to keep it real. Because some people ain't ready for it. Let's be honest. Some people are not ready for it.
Yeah, that's why I feel like, I don't know.
They won't even
people get different versions.
Yeah.
I would just say that. Like, and I feel like that's one thing that I like about myself. Because it's like, not everybody gets the same version of me. And it's like levels to this. Like,
and it's kind of like friendships too, like how it deepens over time.
Yeah. Have like, you gaining that trust, you gaining that, that's how I feel like it is. Because, like, I'm just not a superficial person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't just get everything in the first interaction, third interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. I definitely have learned a lot about deepening connections, keeping connections. I feel like I have had a few friends who move away and like learning to still like message them and still keep those friendships. It's hard to do that. Long distance. Right? Yeah. Because sometimes it just falls away, That don't mean that if I see them, I'm not gonna like be cool again, But yeah.
I feel like besides, like, my couple friends here, I have deep friends like in other states, and it's like that doesn't happen often.
That's pretty cool, actually, though. And y'all still been able to keep it going for over a year, 2 years, 3 years.
It's been like a year now.
That's cool. Yeah. I feel like I see people like send voice memos and like videos, and they still like try to fly out, see each other at least once a year. I feel like that's fun. You know, you got to be able to keep the connections even long distance. Do you feel like that's harder romantically versus platonically? Like, what's easier to keep long distance?
I mean, honestly, they both could be easy. It's about how you messing with that person.
Yeah.
Messing with them, hey, long distance, nothing. I know I'm gonna fly you out soon. You know?
Oh, you flying someone out?
No.
Oh, like, wait a minute.
I'm just saying, like, it can be easy.
Yeah.
It can be. Like, if it's hard, like, I feel like nothing is hard if you really want to do it.
That's true.
I mean, it's going to be hard, but you're going to get there, you know?
Especially if you know how to communicate, you know how to, you know, connect with people. I think that's really important, too, is learning how to connect with someone and what y'all thing is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to finish one more thing about closure too, like learning how to get closure for yourself. So I feel like that's been my experience, where a lot of my friendships early in adulthood, I feel like they definitely didn't, you know, make it all the way to my early 20s. And I feel like I didn't get closure from those relationships, but I feel like I've been able to do that for myself, which I think can be hard. And I think people give you shit for it if it's been like 2 years.
Yeah. And
people are like, why do you still care about the situation? Or like, people have a lot to say about that. And I feel like that's been hard for me personally. Because I feel like I take all my friendships very, very like seriously. And I keep them close. And I feel like I really will be there for people. So yeah, I mean, I feel like people don't give people their space for friendship breakups, or if something, you know, steps away, or whatever the case may be. So yeah.
So, do you think we give more grace to romantic partners than friends?
Yeah, I do.
Do you think it's like that's how it should be?
I want to say yes, but I feel like people not gonna hear me. But like,
oh, they gonna hear you.
I feel
especially
like
the ones with the man.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I feel like it shouldn't be. I feel like it should be equal. Your friendships and your man, that should be on the same level. The way you treat them, the time you give them, it should be equal for each relationship, right? But then I think about, like, for example, say your man, I hate to go here, your man cheats on you. Your girl cheated or messed with your ex. People in most scenarios are more likely to go back to the man who cheated on them than stay keep with the friend who, because they both were wrong. Right. But I feel like people are more likely to accept wrong in your romantic relationships versus in your platonic relationships, because at the end of the day, you're sleeping with this person, you have kids with this person, y'all are married, y'all have more contractual things between each other, where with the friendship it's chosen. Do you feel me?
I feel you.
I don't feel like it should be like that, but it is like that. Let's just keep, it is.
I feel you.
Which one do you feel like you would take back in that scenario? Neither?
My friend. Maybe both, but on a different type of level. If I'm being transparent, because it's like she's gonna take back the dude that cheated on her. You know what I'm saying? You hear what I mean?
Like, from your standpoint, you have a man who cheated on you, and your friend messed with your ex that you were with.
Oh wait, what? I thought you said. I didn't got the story messed up.
Oh yeah, no, like your man cheated on you, and your friend slept with your ex that was like you was with for a minute.
Okay. Like,
which one you think people would be willing to take back? Because it's both betrayal. On both ends, that's betrayal. And I think those are equal, actually. But I feel like most people are willing to go with the man and the woman. Especially if you have kids or if you're married, whatever.
Honestly, at that point, neither.
Okay. And I agree with you on that. I wouldn't take either.
With a certain mindset, neither. You know?
Because no one's going to betray you in that way. And so when I'm
you don't want nobody around you.
Yeah.
It's just not meant to be.
And so if I'm not talking about stuff like that, then I think they should be equal. But when it comes to betrayal, I think people are more willing to take the romantic side than the platonic. But if we're just saying everybody's good, we got good connections, it should be equal.
Yeah.
So that's my answer for that. I don't know.
Yeah, but then it goes back to like looking at every relationship or looking at every family or looking at every connection. Like it's never perfect, and it's like you would just imagine what people go through on a daily basis, but they're still connected to each other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They did some slimy things, or they didn't talk down on them. Like, how do you feel about that? Because I feel like some people were obligated to be around. I don't know. Like, have you really kicked out everybody in your life that kind of really super upset you and you don't,
See, I'm not the type to cut anybody off because I'm the type of person to work it out with everybody. I just scale you down.
So you work it out.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Like if me and a friend or me and a person, and even a romantic connection, if we're not working out, we can still be cool. And with the girl, I mean, if it's a friendship, we're not going to be best friends.
Do you think it's like awkwardness or like not the sameness in it?
I think it can be depending on how you do it. But I just feel like it has to be, y'all can't skip over what happened. There's got to be a conversation. And it's just like, we're not going to be the same way we are, but you're my family. So
I like that, not skipping over it. Like,
yeah, you can't. That's when it gets awkward for me.
I don't know though, because I'm really the type of person that's like, you know what, let's skip over it, let's get over this, I'm cool, let's not even talk about it.
Do you feel like you've learned that because when you talk to people, it gets such extremes that like you feel like there's no way to make it back?
Yes.
So you're scared to like have those conversations.
And it's like maybe I just don't have that connection with people where we sit down and talk. Which sucks. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like for my future, like, or just for now, like I'm talking about now, like I want people around that I'm able to just sit down and talk to. Or, like talking is important. It's part of the connection. Like people, we should talk more,
And how it can connect each other when you talk and you have like you can find out things you didn't know. You can learn more about how this person thinks. You just be
and just trying to connect through text or just not even trying to talk at all about anything. It's like you don't know me.
Yeah.
You don't know me. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people haven't learned how they need to communicate, right? Like I know if I'm having a tough conversation, I know when I get to a point where I need to step away, or I know when I need to say, hey, anything I say after this point, I don't really mean it. I'm just a little annoyed right now. I know how to communicate for myself, or I've tried to learn how to do that. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to conduct themselves in hard conversations. So I don't know. It's hard.
How do you feel like someone can get better at that? Like just communicating?
Just do it. You have to do it. You feel like you're bad at it, I feel like you have to get exposure to it. When I first started doing it, I would go in, I'd have the conversations, but I'd sugarcoat. So it's like I didn't really get it off my chest like how I needed to.
You'll throw subliminals?
Nah. See, now I never do that. If they know they're coming into that conversation, but it's more like I don't really say it. Like how I told my mom before I had the conversation, I'm like, I'm finna tell her this, and that, and then I get there, I'm like, so this kind of bothered me, and like I just kind of like skimmed over it versus really getting into how it made me feel. Yeah,
just being more in depth.
Yeah, because you have to give it context and all that. So
yeah, I agree with that. So I kind of want to get into our hot takes because I feel like healing while dating kind of goes into being able to just do things and like just get over. I don't know, just heal yourself. Like you have to do that by just doing it quick because it's not just gonna come. So like, but do you feel like you really need to be fully healed to be in love? Because is everybody truly fully healed?
That's the question. Yeah, no one is. I don't think, unless you God.
You know what I think though? Maybe I'm just being delusional.
What?
But do you think like people could heal each other in a relationship?
Absolutely. I think that's been my experience too. So I think that's how I know it's possible. I remember thinking like I can't. Yeah. No, for real, because I feel like I remember I stumbled over a video when I first got in my relationship now, and I remember like talking about like because I used to do like video, things on my phone, and I'm like, I'm not really healed, so I feel like I really shouldn't be in this relationship. Like I feel like I need to like take time for myself, and like I remember feeling like that because that's what people put in your head, like you need to be healed before you can be in a relationship. So I feel like I was gonna mess it up.
Yeah.
But I feel I was straight. I'm doing fine now. So I feel like you just have to be in the right circumstances, in the right situation with the
and
right
I feel like
person.
that's how you know that's your person, you know? It's somebody that you really connect with, because it's like, I feel like you should be able to do that. And I was just thinking about that earlier. I'm like, I need to heal, but hold on, I'm ready to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like people can heal each other.
Absolutely.
Especially if they're on the right path with each other, on their own paths, and just genuine with each other. Like, you got my back, I got your front.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel like also if you know what your issues are going into a relationship, it's easier because you can be transparent with your.
Not aware.
Yeah.
And if you're not transparent, if you're not open, you think you really got to be open, like really to be in a relationship.
Vulnerable. That's why I understand why people say you can't do it unless you're healed, because it's a lot harder. And if
it is a lot harder.
If it gets bad, it cuts deeper. It's just even worse.
I think that's a point where it's like, okay, you're healed when you're able to talk about it and be open about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not, it's like, you're not gonna be open about it, and you're not gonna want to talk about it. And if somebody brings it up, you're not gonna, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like everybody has trauma and everybody's healing, you know, but it's levels to it. Like, how healed are you?
Because I think even like knowing what it is in advance going into a relationship, like if you know you got trust issues, you can tell your partner, and you can also hold yourself accountable. Like, you know why you're doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
you know why you're upset. But I feel like if you have no self-awareness or you haven't started the healing journey at all, I feel like that can be hard for sure.
Okay, I wanted to ask you a question. Or I can answer it first, but I'm gonna just ask it because I feel like you've been on a roll. Like, you've been having some good answers.
Okay.
I guess I know we wanted to like bring more stories into this, like, to this transparent post.
Mm-hmm.
But what is a story that you can tell that shows a deep connection with someone, or that you knew that you had a deep connection with that person?
I'm drinking.
Okay.
I'm gonna think about mine.
Okay. I feel like, I don't know. Do I want to answer this question? Maybe we should
I
just
feel like
skip this out.
I'm gonna be honest. This question itself is an uncomfortable question for me, because I feel like it's hard to be that vulnerable, because it's something that if it was deep and it's no longer, which would be my case, the story I'm gonna choose to tell, it's just hard being that vulnerable. And I think it's cool to acknowledge that before I even get into my story. I'm still gonna do it, but it's hard. Why is it hard though?
We gonna let y'all answer this first. No, but I don't know. Like,
Okay,
sometimes it's kind of scary to get too deep, you know? What the question is, just tell a story about how you knew you had a deep connection with someone.
Okay, that's not that bad.
Like, what does that feel? What does that look like?
Yeah.
And what does that feel like?
I feel like I've had one really like deeper connection. I've had a lot of deep connections, but like I feel like this one like stood out. But I just feel like knowing, I just feel like you're just comfortable around this person where you don't really care. You know, like you can be your true, genuine, authentic self. Like you can do whatever it is, and there's no judgment. There's no like holding nothing over anybody's heads. Like that's the way it should be, where you can just come as you are. You know, because I think even for me, I don't know if you can relate to this, but in every relationship, it might pull something differently out of you, right? Or you're still like you're not being yourself, but you feel more comfortable to allow this side of yourself out in front of somebody, or vice versa, whatever, you know. So I think just having people you can just be your bad self with, your you know, if you're angry, if you're happy, whatever it is, you can be all versions of yourself around this person. That's one thing for me. Yeah.
I guess it's not really a story. It's just answering the question.
Yeah.
But I really want to say I really haven't had one. Like, that sort of way. But I feel like I have. It just wasn't what it was out to be. So, like, that's why I'm, like, second guessing it. And that's just how I feel about it. like besides like my son, and I know like he's mine in that connection. Like besides that, I feel like I haven't, like, I don't know, and I feel like I'm kind of upset that I don't have an answer. But not upset, but like I know it's coming, but like I really wasn't the type to like be as deep with people. It was always kind of surface level.
I have 2 questions, because you said that you were going back and forth with it. Do you feel like you were going back and forth because like it was one-sided, where maybe you thought it was something and it wasn't, or is it because it turned bad?
Both.
Okay. Because I feel like if you felt that, it could have been like something it wasn't, or it could be negative, but you still felt it. Like they don't like take away from the experience or what you thought it was, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
I agree. Because like, yeah, I agree.
I think it's cool to feel anything, even if if you felt
good
something,
or bad.
like, and it didn't turn out good. It didn't invalidate the way you felt, how it made you feel. And I think even for me, like growing up, I had something I thought was love. I thought was this and that, and then you come to realize that wasn't that. But at that moment, that was still beautiful. I was able to feel that feeling, even if I know it's not what that was now.
Because we're all human.
Yeah.
Living in a human experience.
And it's great to feel stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, it is. Because I would rather feel something that's not feeling it at all.
Yeah.
But yeah. I feel like we can just end this like with our advice to ourselves and to the listeners.
Okay.
Just after what we talked about today, I feel like my advice is just, I just want to be myself. Like if I'm in like, I just want balance. I want to be myself, and I want to make smart decisions, and I also want to do what comes to mind and do what my heart feels it needs to do. So my advice would be to just have balance. To myself and to y'all, like have balance and just do what is best for you and do what makes you feel good. Don't think what nobody else think. I feel like that's cliche advice, but it's real advice, and it works if you do it.
Yeah. I feel like my advice for friendships, relationships. Ooh, I had some advice for romantic. I'm not gonna get into it because I know we're running out of time. I have to spin back, but for friends, I feel like don't be afraid to. It's hard deepening connections, but I feel like don't be afraid to like attempt to put yourself out there and be like rejected in a sense. Like, because I feel like that was always my thing. Is a fear of like put myself out there and like it don't really work, and it's like, but just do it.
Just do it. Like, who's looking at the outcome? The outcome is going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, and you can't change that,
regardless.
Don't be afraid to get closure for yourself too, because that's been I think it's a part of friendships. Like everything comes and it goes, and there's going to be beautiful lessons in it, even whether it's still happening or not. Don't be afraid to get that for yourself, because ultimately no one's really going to give it to you, you know.
Yeah.
Even if you have a conversation, that doesn't mean you're going to have closure. But
I just hope and pray that I continue to experience deep connections with people with good outcomes, and just be able to be vulnerable and open and be real with myself and with everybody around me. Period.
Yeah. I feel that's all one can ask for in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you made it this far, thank you for listening.
And make sure to tune in every other Wednesday for a new session.
Yeah.